Cool,
right?
thank you.
We're
Can
going
see Mike received is
sorry, man. Your time is
no
up. We're going to 4 minutes for the judges. Judges, do you want to give him extra time from your time, or do you want to jump straight into questions?
I'd say give extra time.
Give it.
All right,
Yeah,
so the
minute.
4 minutes the judges starts. I'll give you an extra minute from the judges. So judges,
okay.
you have 3 minutes to ask, starting now.
Okay, cool. So you can see Mike got a message in French, but the message originally was written in English. So Mike can decide to actually reply using, let's say, voice note. So Mike might say, okay, I'm good and you in French. I'll try that. I'll allow this. Je vais bien. Et toi? So this, I'll send that. Cool. So Mike replied, like I used my voice and it converted everything to text. So I can go log in as Jano who speaks English. You can see he got the message actually in English. So I'm good for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Judges, you have 3 minutes to ask any questions.
First question, James. What resources did you use for the language translation and voice to text translations?
So I used IBM. So there's IBM Text Translator and speech to text. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
just a question from my side is, how do customers get to know about the application?
How do I get to know? I think via advertisement and ads, maybe on YouTube or
Okay.
Google Ads. Yeah.
I have a question on my side. This is Andiswa. So, from a security perspective,
Okay.
what type of security have you guys used? I mean, if I'm obviously sending very sensitive information between people, what security form do you guys have?
Yeah, so for my authentication, I use JWT, and for the if I'm planning to actually put the app in production, I'm planning to use Spring as my backend with Spring Security, and maybe AWS for storage, which also give me some security things. Yeah.
From platform specific, this is just going to be web-based. Is there options for mobile, Android, or iOS?
I think it's gonna be both. This I built it as a web app just for MVP, but the main idea is to have it as like for many platforms as possible.
And then in terms of the overall theme of this hackathon, we're looking to solve COVID-related issues.
Okay.
How do you think that this speaks to that?
Okay, the way I think is we are trying to maximize how companies are now trying to reach their customers, and we're not sure of everyone can understand English. So the platform might help them actually to go even way into rural areas to people who can't understand languages, to help them actually maximize their chances of getting more customers.
Cool, thank you.
No problem.
Judges, you have 20 seconds. Any further questions?
No more questions for me.
All right. Thank you very for your time, Team Console Loggers. Highly appreciated.
No problem.
advantage is that Tandy's neighbor Lerato and Tepo have the best network ever. However, Tandy would like to ask Lerato to use her hotspot without sounding like she's needy. And then we also have a use case of Lerato. She's the one that has a better internet connection. She wants to make extra cash. Because of COVID, she opted for the best internet speeds, but then the disadvantage of that is that her data plan is killing her budget. So she doesn't want to go for a cheaper data plan, but she still wants to make extra cash from having fast internet speeds. So the solution that we have here is a solution that will allow you to share your mobile hotspot or Wi-Fi connection details with your nearest neighbor. Front end will be a USSD. Back end, REST IP. We'll be using Avaya, which will help us to send SMSs back and forth. And we've also used TCS to help us with building our REST API connection to the database and so forth. So how it's going to work, when the user registers, they'll punch in the USSD *160 hash. They'll have all the command prompts, they'll enter their name, cell phone number, and so forth. When they request a Wi-Fi hotspot, this is after they registered, they'll dial *150*, and then because we'll be having a database of all the addresses, we'll use Google's API, which will help us locate your a Wi-Fi hotspot near you. Once you've selected your nearest location, an SMS will be sent to the hotspot provider to accept. And then on your screen, as the user, you will then get back the Wi-Fi details, the Wi-Fi name and password, or the mobile hotspot name and password. You'll have to confirm successful connection. Once you have been successfully connected, then we'll deduct 25 rands from your voucher for 60 minutes connection to the internet. So on the provider side, they'll get that request that somebody wants to connect to your hotspot, right? And then they'll then have to reply with the Wi-Fi name, Wi-Fi password. They can either accept or decline. Once a successful connection to the hotspot is confirmed, the provider will be added 25 rands to their wallet. So in order to load a voucher, they'll dial that USSD, can buy it by using a banking app or nearest local convenience. Okay, why will people want to use the solution? People would want to make money. They'll get internet connection at a fairly low price. Employees won't have to worry about employers won't have to worry about the employees' productivity because they'll have internet connection. Challenges expected. Security is one concern. Some people are fear of change, and so forth. The business model, the social impact, hotspot providers will become independent business owners, and people who use the hotspot won't have to worry about buying expensive data. People will be more connected and so forth. Okay, the business model. Why will customers love this deal? So imagine you have a customer that pays like 1,000 rand per month for a data plan, and now they now have this option where sorry, and now they have an option of making a business out of the Wi-Fi or their hotspot.
Sorry, but your time is up.
Oh, Okay. Try to make it fast.
So judges, I can start your 4 minutes. If you would like, you can use some of that time to allow it to continue, but it's up to you.
Yeah, if she's got viewings even today, we can still go with her.
Yeah, just a question from me, Gabriel. How are the funds settled in the back? So my neighbor wants Wi-Fi from me, goes through the whole process. How is the payment process handled?
We'll load the payment process is handled via a voucher. Let me go back. I think it's this slide. So once they've loaded this voucher, it will be deducted from their account, and then they can use that voucher, either then redeem it via a banking app, or like.
Okay, that's clear. I understand. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Okay, guys, from my side, just to confirm from a user-friendly point of view, so this is all the normal USSD method that the guys are used to, correct?
Yeah, it's normal USSD. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. Should I continue?
Yeah, I think if there's no questions, you've got 2 minutes if you want to stress something then.
Okay. Okay. One of the I was still just gonna go on why customers will love this deal. If you have a data plan that is 1,000 rand, but if you use hotspot, why not? If you let's say, for example, you get one hotspot request per day, you make 20 rands every day. For a month, that is 600 rands. So you basically will be saving 400 rands, from just sharing a hotspot. For our how we are going to make money, if we do very well, if we have, let's say, 1,000 providers, if we have 1,000 providers and we make 15 rands, because we then deduct a 20% service fee, so we'll be making 15 rands for each hotspot request. That is 15,000 rand per day and in a month. And if we do very bad, which is if we have, like, let's say 10 providers, that is 150 rand per day in a month, around 4,500. So given this, we see that the customer, as well as ourselves, will be generating income from this. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Team Zero Bug.
Okay.
Awesome. So up next, we have Team Nimble.
Galang. it will be reducing the number of people at pharmacies or doctors waiting to get their medication. The application as well helps the user, like I mentioned, so that the user customer does not go to the pharmacy and end up living without any medicine because of the long queue. So the application also addresses that. You can go on. So for our software development lifecycle, the requirements which we were supposed to have is the Visual Studio Code, the Django framework installed, and the PayPal API, and the medication images, images of different medications. And then the design, we were supposed to develop a recommendation feature with a machine learning algorithm, which we call infination time. That is the main feature and what set the application different from others basically. But it's just unfortunate that we weren't able to finish that feature. So the development, we used Django for back end and we used CSS and HTML for front end. We can go on to next screen. So the business model, our application is going to be making money through service fees. When a person makes a transaction for a certain medicine, uh, our application is going to take 450 extra as a service fee. So basically, we will use that income to grow our application into a business maybe sometime. And as well, for future recommendation, what we would like to do is to include that recommendation system, which could recommend medicine based on the user symptoms. You can go on to next slide. Go on. So basically, this is our screenshots for the application. We weren't able to finish the application in time since we only started it yesterday at around 12 p.m. So it's functioning, but it's not fully coded. We didn't have enough time. Thank you.
Awesome. Judges, do you guys have any questions? Time.
Question from my side.
You guys can
just trying to understand the decision to go with PayPal instead of Momo. So the reason for that?
Did you hear the question?
Hello?
The question was, what was the reason behind the decision going to PayPal?
Okay, let me answer. Okay. So basically, I was working on the payment system earlier on this morning, and the closing for the submission was already approaching. So since I know PayPal API more instead of Momo API, I decided to use the PayPal API just to save time.
Okay.
This is George. I have a question. Thank you. Just around the commercial model, you're taking a service fee of $450.
Yes.
So using PayPal, there's probably a commission that will be taken. Hosting your application on a platform to run it has some costs. Delivering the service costs. So how did you come up with the $450?
Since I actually wanted to do it around 12 rand, and my mentor actually advised me not to do so since banks use as little as 2 rand or 2 rand 50 and so on. So since he works at a bank, so I thought maybe 4 rand 50 is a great price to go with.
Thank you. Since there are no other questions, maybe one more from my side. I'm not sure if I missed it, but what are the security controls or solutions you've put in place for this app?
I can't hear properly. Can you send the question, please?
Security. What security measures or solutions are you putting for this app?
Security measures. Please send the question because I cannot hear one.
Yes. Security controls.
Or security controls. We made use of Django security features such as the cross-site request forgery token, so that attackers cannot modify credentials of users, basically. So like we didn't have a lot of time. So basically, the CSRF token is the only security thing that we implemented so far, and it was only this morning around 6:30 a.m.
We had a question from Joy. Is asking about security controls.
Yes, he's answered that, Skinny. Thank you.
Okay.
I could join now.
Awesome.
Are we looking at this for the solution? Are we looking at over
Sam,
the
I did
counter?
answer the question. I can hear.
Okay, let me start. So for the solution, I over the counter medication or prescription medication or both. I might have missed it in the beginning.
I can't hear properly, honestly speaking. Please send a question.
Typing it in the chat.
So basically, there's no prescription needed for now. You just order the medicine, and then we order the medicine from the nearest pharmacy place. Then it just did prescription for now.
Okay.
And it's just
okay. So more over the counter and general medication. Okay. And in that case, who would you link up with multiple providers in order to gain inventory, or are you looking at getting inventory yourself?
Integrating with multiple inventory management.
Okay. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. Actually,
thank you.
Was working in the network actually was bad on my side too.
Yeah, it's bad. Just try to train it.
Okay, cool, awesome. Thank you guys. Can we have team? I honestly forgot.
Judges, do we allow them to continue with the demo, or do you jump straight to questions?
I think always a demo for us. I've sensed a pattern.
All right, gentlemen, demo first. You've got a minute. Are you ready?
Okay, just a second. Can you see our screen?
Your screen, yes, it shows solution.
Just a second.
We're just seeing PowerPoint, yeah.
Yes.
Do you see it now?
Yes, do you see your green screen? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, your time starts now. Are you winning?
Just a second. We also trying to connect to a different host now.
Okay, I'll pause your time a bit.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I can only pause for the next 15 seconds, so please try to find it.
Okay. We had to go to this laptop because the other one wasn't working, and we had everything sorted up on the other laptop. But now we're trying to get this one running.
Just if there's anything you need to explain while running, please go ahead. I am starting the time.
Okay, yeah. So basically, what we're trying to do now is try to the host. As you can see now, it's taking so long because I think it has to do with the latency and also our environment that we also using at this current stage here. So yeah. Basically, this will be the login screen for this will be the login screen for the app that we're going to be doing. So
What do you use for login?
sorry.
What do you use on your login screen? Because I think we're gonna run out of time. Maybe we can just ask some questions around it.
Please go ahead.
Okay, sure. So we used Laravel for our login. So basically, the user registers with their with their phone number, email address, and an image. So the image is taken from this is the Momo API. It's connectable. Yeah, it's connectable. So connectable has a service which is called identity as a service. So that API that they have there has a system which is built based on taking your ID number and also your image to verify if you are your correct person, because it checks in if you are also under the SA registered, like if you have a valid ID number. So when you register, it will check if you have a valid ID number based on your ID number and also your image. So it will compare both of those and then it will pull back the image based on that. So we did do a test based on both. It does work, and then if you try to sidetrack it, it won't allow you because it also uses a base 64 to convert that image.
Sorry, if I may just jump in there. As a data subject, what surety do I have that my personal information will be processed and stored correctly?
So basically, based on that, your data, we have two database that we're going to be using. So we're going to be using a non-SQL database and also a structural database, which is going to be MySQL. So we're going to try to, every time when we put data on our table, we're going to try to encode it with a false or depending on the method, because we did like look at options, because there's a lot of them based on encrypting data when it comes to customer privacy. Yeah.
So that's what we're going to be doing, encrypting and decrypting the data based on different methodologies.
And we're running a double authentication. So you have the image one and what you call this, the email and password. First you go through your email and password, and then the what
image.
And
your
then
ID number, yeah.
And then it prompts you to enter your ID number and image, which it thereby verifies that, okay, cool, this is the user, this is Frank logging in, and Frank can do whatever they need to do.
And then that's another platform where we're going to be knowing if this is a registered South African citizen that is operating based on the app.
$15 seconds left.
Okay. So basically, as you can see, this will be the orders that will be coming from the users themselves. So
what you call this, the store
owner, the store like the person who will be advertising the goods and services.
The time is up. Thank you for your presentation. All the best.
Thanks.
All righty. So we are now moving to
or project, so that we make sure that there isn't that excess usage, to and then also we were looking at having insurance. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Nishay, sorry, you're coming up to 6 minutes now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll
Yes.
pause the clock at 6 minutes. So you have 4 minutes remaining. Do you want to carry on with the presentation or do the demo?
Okay, 4 minutes. Okay. Okay, so the signal on my side is a little bit poor. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, well, I can at least.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'll
I've just
I'll
paused the
quickly,
clock.
and then I think I'll end it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you've got 4 minutes left. Can I continue the clock? Yeah.
That's perfect. We can maybe just go into Q&A and maybe. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. Okay, I'm starting the clock again.
Okay.
Nishay, you still there?
So
Yeah.
yeah, can you guys hear me? Sorry about my connection. So I was saying this is how our look and feel would look. So we haven't yet completed the full look and feel, but we would like it to be on the front of our presentation, on the front page, because I know there's an option for loans, but that's not yet available. So we would like ours to be one of the first icons there. Okay, I think because of the connection that's a bit poor, I think maybe we can go into some Q&A and then just take it from there. I think that would be a bit easier. Hi.
Hi, Nisha.
Okay.
But do you have a
I'm not sure. Yes.
Do you have anything to demonstrate to us, or this is just it?
So the only thing we have is the presentation. Like I said, our technical consultant that we had and our coding person, they had some personal issues and therefore weren't able to do that aspect for us.
Okay. So I guess we can go to the Q&A now.
Yeah.
Let me first.
Yeah.
Can I go first? I just want to understand. So you see your solution being part of the Momo app, because I've seen you having the Momo screen there.
Yes.
So you want to embed it as part of the Momo solution. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. With your technical person being away, can you give us a bit of just an overview in terms of how you'll deal with security? Will you just hang off the Momo security then? Yeah.
So I think at this point, I really can't. I won't be able to say that we would have any additional security at this point because I haven't been able to, like I said, have contact with my technical guy. But at this point, it would be a case of, as first phase, we would just have it off of the Momo security features that are already in place, and then as phase 2, we would then look into tightening up the security. I know one aspect of the security elements that we were looking at is to use, the banking process. When you like having your Momo and then a secondary form of security. So I know when you're doing online shopping, when you're purchasing anything on online shopping, there is an option where you get an approval SMS where you do need to approve it. So we're looking into something like that, but we need to just refine that a bit more to make sure that it's aligned with MTN's legal and regulatory processes.
Okay, thanks for that.
Okay.
Hi, this is Charlotte. Thanks for the presentation. Just in terms of the target market, so I understand it's older people. Are you looking to target people who wouldn't already be using online shopping apps? And I guess if so, how do you kind of plan to reach out to them?
Okay. So yes, we are looking at people that are elderly and people that are not actually using online shopping. The way we want to actually target them is that we want to run a promotion that encourages customers that are using SASSA services to actually download our app and then link their SASSA accounts to our app, right? So as soon as they link the SASSA accounts onto our app, we will do a verification to see where they fall under and if they reach our target market, and then be able to target them in that sense. Also, part of the promotion
Sorry, that's
is that
time, Michelle. Sorry,
Okay.
I've given you a couple of more seconds, but that's time,
okay. No, it's
unfortunately.
fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, Elisha, over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Lishai, for your time and for presenting to us.
Hi, Tim. I've got a question here. I'm not sure if you covered that in terms of making sure that you have the right, obviously, people, probably from a quality perspective, having the right PPE equipment. So how do you verify that or validate that?
So to validate, companies will use the CST, so the Central Supply Database, and then from there we have to obviously get government to provide us with this database. But that's how we can authenticate that they are part of a company. After that, we want it to work out. So we want people to rate the system by themselves, and the system will learn what is bad and what is good. I know we can't play around and can't guess around with PPE, but from there we'll have a huge range, and companies will be rated on their experience and all of that from prior time. So we don't have to, obviously PPE won't be the first thing that they'll be hit to, these companies. It will be, they'll be in the database or in this application for a long time, and maybe coronavirus or another virus came in and we expected for it by just having this application. Then we'll have people with experience points and reliability and time waiting, lead times and all of that.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Team Nimble. So up next, I just quickly want to find out, is Team Push to Master on the call? So Team Push to Master, if you're here, please leave a message in the chat. But for now, we'll jump to Team from the Internet. So Team from the Internet, please prepare and share your screen. So do we have team from the internet here? Okay. Is team class 1K here?
Yes, we are here.
Awesome. So we'll jump straight to team class 1K. So please do prepare and share your slides. Awesome. Cool. So team class 1K, your 6 minutes begins now.
We are Team Classic. So essentially, I am with my partner, Tumelo Baloi. So what we're doing is, or we saw a problem as an influx of promising businesses that seem to not be able to scale automatically during large work orders and an inefficient payment cycle.
So the solution is we built a real-time e-commerce platform. I don't know if I should say e-commerce that integrates with Contactable and MTN Momo. What it does is it essentially allows businesses to create to sell their products via the platform, but we go a step further from that. So if a business receives a large order on a certain item, but within the system, they only have about 2 employees, the system will automatically calculate the number of temporary workers that they would need to be able to deliver that order effectively and on time. So how we do that is through Ayoba, we simply allow people to register as potential job seekers. So using Contactable's ID verification API, which we also released an SDK for last night, we are now able to verify a user, and then we can be able to get their background in terms of work experience using other third-party APIs that have been available. So from there on, we sort of create something called virtual bank accounts. So these virtual bank accounts allow a business to effectively pay their temporary workers directly using Momo as soon as their task is complete. And this can be carried on for even events whereby they can just add their stock and they don't need to even have to sell tickets. Directly from the platform, they can therefore allow people to just use their phone to check in at an event using a ticket. And then if they need extra hands, they simply tap into the click network, which will therefore automatically assign temporary workers to their site and be able to scale effectively and on demand. So our secure development life cycle is a large part of the work is we use something called components. So our system is not monolithic. So what it does is we split up a lot of the workflows and then we simply add them as packages within the platform. So we can be able to build up almost very fast, and we can be able to track down bugs as soon as they happen, because each component is isolated in its own container and its own microservice. Then, so our business model is we are rather targeting small to medium businesses that do not necessarily have the capacity to build up a large sites like Takealot, which can handle their own warehouse and hire permanent staff. And our impact of the solution is we allow them to hire employees within an hour. They have temporary staff working in their facilities to help them package a certain order and get it out there. And then from there, our revenue strategies, we're going to have premium accounts and we're going to have ads So due to this type of network whereby they interact with a lot of people, we can therefore show targeted ads from our own network. So if there's a spaza shop 2 kilometers away from me having a sale on bread, automatically we can show them that. But now if that spaza shop receives an influx of orders, the system automatically assigns temporary workers, which can help that business scale up without really using a lot of resources. So I'm just going to quickly jump to the demo, and then we'll have it, we'll be able to view here. So this is Click. So everything so we use something called SSR and WebSockets. So SSR is server-side rendered events. So this updates our user interface soon as the data is updated in the database. And then with WebSocket, we maintain a connection almost all the time with our backend. So I'm just going to come here. So I did not create a profile. I registered an account, but I did not create a profile. So I'm just going to do this here, 980205. I have here, and then my profile was verified. So most of the data here is changed in real time because this is a demo. So if I can show you here, you can see it's updated in the background in real time, and then it's simply reflected based on the what is happening on the platform. And then here I can just create a new. I don't know what broke. Okay. Okay, so seems that broke. So here we can create a business in real time and automatically assign employees to it, automatically assign our products to it, and then you can even calculate the temporary cost of what it will cost to hire temporary staff to be able to finish an order.
Awesome. So unfortunately, your 6 minutes are up. Judges, would you like them to continue?
Yes. I would like to see the interface from the user perspective, the actual worker. That would be interesting if there's something.
So, awesome. Can you?
Just your other interface. This is your business interface, the interface from the user itself. Do you have a sort of an idea yet how that is going to look?
Okay, so we have a middleware built into the system itself. So we really didn't create all the other interfaces because due to time, but we focused on the user interface like this. So it's gonna more or less look like this. Instead of showing your registered businesses and that, it's going to show potential employment opportunities. So those ones are shown as bounties. So they time out. So if you take too long to respond to a potential employer, it times out and then simply looks for you. So an employer, when a temporary worker is searched for, there's something called a radius bubble. So the minimum is 5 kilometers from your premises up to 30 kilometers, depending on the amount of talent that you need. So they'll be able to see all of that.
Excellent.
Yeah, Tumelo, just one more. Where do you see the COVID relevance in the solution?
Okay, so the COVID relevance to the solution is during COVID, the initial lockdown, a lot of businesses went under because they couldn't really pay their permanent staff. So the only way for a business to survive in that type of ecosystem is to be agile in terms of how they hire their staff. So by removing that dependence on permanent staff, the platform is now able to dynamically assign temporary staff that can do tasks for that specific period of time. So it can be a day, it can be a week. For instance, if I have a catering business that was in the events business, and then I couldn't get work for 6 months and I can't really afford to hire any permanent staff, automatically I can put a work order into the platform, and then it will allow me to hire temporary staff for that specific day, and all their rates are calculated for them. And I don't have to handle their finances because with the Momo integration, I can simply pay them out automatically and on time if the work is done.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
So, judges.
This is something that we can achieve as a platform, right? So in terms of security, when we authenticate our user, I'm using a JWT token. So each and every time when I authenticate, I generate a new token. So I didn't do much on, I didn't dwell much on the security part because with the Momo API, because I used a lot of Momo API. With the Momo API, each and every time when you want to use a collection or whatever service that you want to use, you have to generate a token first. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So,
1 minute is done. They can start asking questions. Judges?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just showing my non-technical background. You mentioned you didn't pay much attention on security because of the Momo API and whatever. But you're dealing with money and all that kind of stuff. So are you saying that even from your app perspective, you're leaving the security aspect to a third party? Because I mean, financial products, lending, whatever, typically, I'd be quite happy to use. I wouldn't be happy to use them if I'm not quite sure that they are secure in every aspect. In every aspect, not just
well, I think maybe moving forward, that's something that I think I can approve. I can improve. But then, for the sake of the hackathon and for the sake of time, because I was alone.
Okay. But I think perhaps this was just a comment on when you are pitching a financial product. Don't say that security is kind of a side issue. Next time.
Okay.
Cool.
Yusuf here, just a question. I just want to make sure I got the use case properly. Maybe just summarize for me what problem does it solve for the user, right? So what I'm imagining here is almost like e-SASA kind of thing, a SASA online kind of solution that uses mobile money to allow government to, provide relief to citizens. Have I got the gist right? Or if not, help me just understand what problem it's solving, right?
So the problem that I'm solving is the issue of people not getting relief funds from institutions like banks. Maybe one of the reasons why, because they are living in a foreign country and they don't have a bank account with that particular bank. And what you can do is you can build trust with us as a platform, and you can request a loan, and we can give you any loan based on your financial history in our platform.
So are you, from your own balance sheet, providing the cash or the money, or is it crowdfund or peer-to-peer / crowd?
No, we are providing.
Oh, So you would need a banking license, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, no, don't worry. Just it was a rhetoric question.
Oh.
And then one question from my side. One
Can
more
we have
question
a
from my
question?
side. Your idea is to build some sort of credit score for the user, right? Have you given any thought into how you're going to do that? What sort of platforms will you be using to generate that credit score? And did you put anything together this weekend, or is it just ideas at this point?
So how we build a credit score for a user is, first you need to use our platform for like 3 months just to build trust between us. And each and every time when you make a transaction, we will take 0.12% of each and every transaction that you make, and we place it on your credit balance.
Why?
Sorry, come again? Hello?
Maybe explain why you add that that amount into the credit balance. We didn't quite understand the reason for that.
Share a little bit, because I think, as I tried to say in the previous sessions, the teams must also hear how they've done. So yeah, I think we can talk about it a bit. I don't know, Elisha. Guys still there?
Yeah,
Yep,
still here.
still, yeah.
What are we waiting for?
Okay, so do we
I think we were waiting for Elisha to get some of the scoring that have already been submitted.
Yeah.
I think that's what she's trying to do.
Okay,
That's correct. Yeah, I think she's just extracting it. Yeah.
Great.
That you guys. Oh, sorry, because of time.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
you.
Question, quick
Oh, last
question.
one.
Yeah. What measures would you take if a person doesn't pay their loan settlement balance back? So they've their period and they haven't paid back.
This is a tricky one, because I was thinking about, I was thinking about that, but then I didn't actually come up with a solution. But then if maybe you were not able to pay, then you can make an arrangement with us that, okay, fine, I promise you guys that I will pay after 2 months, but then I can't right now. Then we can actually make some sort of an arrangement. That's what I thought. Yeah.
All right, got it.
Okay, cool. Thank you, guys, and thank you for your presentation. Is team 4 ready? In 4.
Skinny.
Yes. Yeah.
While we're waiting for them, do we have access to the pitch deck somewhere, just to go over again and reapply our minds?
And the presentation.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Well, yeah, the PowerPoints or the
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. No. We'll get you guys access to those after the session. Quick.
Okay.
Awesome.
This is George. I don't see the name and team and morph on the list on the Google Forms.
It's not there.
No.
Okay. Can you guys give me a few minutes, seconds? Actually, I'm just going to the next room and ask.
Scores coming through. I just want to know if it is being submitted.
Hold a second. Tiani, can you see the Group 2 scores coming through?
Group 2?
Group 2,
Yeah.
Yes, we see them.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.